Okay, I realized I was on mute. Let me start again. Welcome to 5 Shifts to Becoming a Cashflow Queen and CEO of Your Wealth. So, give you an idea of what it means to be rich. So, believe it or not, being rich is a choice. Only 10% of people, though, are rich because becoming rich is a personal choice. But before I get into that, let me go through who this webinar is for. This webinar is for women who do not know what to do with their money. That means you have money saved up, but you don't quite know what to do, where to invest it, what to do with it to make it grow. You're not sure whether you should pay off your school loans, pay off the mortgage, the house first, or do I save? I get a lot of questions about whether to invest or whether to save the money. And then female professionals who are not sure about money management, how much to save, how much to invest in, what to invest in. Money spenders and money avoiders who don't like math and outsource financial management, meaning getting a financial advisor, trusting their finances with other people, letting a spouse do the finances because they rather not look at it. So that's all delegating finances. Hardworking professional moms who are exhausted of trading hours for dollars. So I see this a lot, women who feel that they don't have enough money, so then they take on another job and another job. And I see, they're working 2 or 3 jobs and they're just tired, but they keep working because they need the money. And they're constantly in this loop of trading hours for dollars. How do I know this one? Because I've seen my mom do the same. When we were really stranded and financially stressed, I watched her work 3 jobs. In the morning, early morning, she'd wake up at 4 a.m., go up to her first job. At 3 p.m., she'd go to her second shift job. And after that, she would pick up another job at a restaurant. So definitely not the way to go, but it's not that they choose to do this job. It's the only way they've been taught. Newly single women, such as divorcees, widows, single mothers who need to build their own wealth engines to take care of themselves and their family. So, what I'm saying here is women who went through some kind of life change that makes them single and they don't have their usual financial support of someone who knows how to manage money. And therefore, they are trying to figure out that gap on how to maintain their lifestyle so they can continue living well and live the lifestyles that they want. And that's not something that can be gapped on by taking on more jobs. Just by taking in more jobs, by trading their hours for dollars, it makes a little bit of difference, but it's not going to make up for the gap of, say, if a woman took off years of work, to take care of her children. She's not going to make up that 5 years by taking on extra part-time job. And so later on, I'll get into why it's difficult to catch up with that. So for newly single women, such as divorcees, widows, single moms who need to build their wealth engines to take care of themselves and their family. In the next 45 minutes, you will learn the real reason why conventional retirement planning leaves people broken and destitute, why hard work and determination is only part of the wealth building equation. Crucial lessons from the Millionaire Next Door, one fundamental habit the rich do well than most of us. The equation to build riches and wealth is so simple, but people do not believe it. How the rich think and manage money differently than a middle class, and how to go from money worker B to money boss mode. How to retire comfortable without worrying of becoming broke at old age. How to leverage and rocket fuel your business or your wealth without taking on another full-time job or losing sleep. My promise to you is the exact step-by-step strategy to millionaire habits and working towards your first million. Does this sound like you? Do you notice your bank account does not grow much year after year? You try to save money, but still feel like you are treading water and can't seem to get ahead. Does this sound like you? Do you feel stuck and burned out in the daily grind, yet cannot quit because you rely on that paycheck? Does the thought of working day in and day out till old age give you chills? Do you feel like you are paying credit card roulette and struggle to save to get ahead and become rich? Have you given up on becoming rich? Do you know you could be doing more with your money, but the idea of financial education, investing scares the shit out of you? Do you feel your personal finance education is a train wreck when you start thinking of retirement planning? Do you feel money management and finances is a job you are obligated to do, yet frustrated you don't really have anyone to talk to, hold you accountable, and coach you when it comes to money? Well, tell you the good news. The good news is those are not the real problem. Those are just symptoms of a problem. The real problem is you have not made the shifts. Once you make the shifts, you'll learn how to stop trading hours for dollars and build your bank account without taking on another job. Once you've made the shifts, you'll finally be able to develop your own retirement and investment plan independent of what financial advisors tell you. Once you've made the shifts, personal finance, money planning, and management worries will be the thing of the past, and you will find your new money vision and goals. Once you make the shifts, you will have massive clarity and control of your financial situation and take ownership of what financial future you want to build towards. Once you've made the shifts, you will learn the wealth building equation that is never advertised on mass media and know why most financial gurus are only telling you part of the equation. Before I get into it, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Hi, I'm Caroline Yuki. I'm Caroline Yuki. The word Yuki is what friends call me. Yuki means brave in Japanese. I moved to the States from Taiwan when I was 16. We have a lot of Japanese influence in Taiwan, and I love Japanese manga, Japanese cartoons. And when I came to the States, I didn't know anyone, and I hardly spoke any English. I discovered the 5 shifts while trying to build towards the American dream and not wanting to accept working 40 hours a week as the only way to financial freedom. You see, the revelation came when I was attending an engineering retirement party. In fact, I attended several. I watched these engineers who work 30 years and a lot, even more, 35 years, 40 years, and go to their retirement party to know that they spent all their entire career at the company for that day they could retire. And something that shocked me is they told me, Caroline, one of the most scariest moments is going to that financial advisor and asking them, do I have enough money to retire? And when they're not sure, that's when they add another year and another year. And I was just thinking like, wow, that's such a big question. And I could see how it'd be stressful to make that big of a decision. But also these financial advisors or planners, a lot of times they're young professionals, in their 20s and 30s. And to trust them is such a big picture. Like even if they calculate it as well, but what if money does run out? There's no way of really guaranteeing it. And there had to be a better way to figure out whether there was enough money or a different system. And sadly, a lot of these engineers who work 33 years, 35 years, they worked towards their older years or the last 3 years while working, like they were sick. And in fact, I remember a project manager, really nice guy. And he, unfortunately, after he retired, his health just went downhill. And within 9 months, he passed away. Like he didn't even get to enjoy his retirement. He just worked his entire life. My professional background includes being a startup engineer, meaning that I go around the world, lead projects that are $10 to $200 million in construction, and I train engineering teams to build a plant, test a plant, and run a plant. On the side, I started up an Amazon business, real estate investing in single and multifamily properties. I'm on a mission to help women become cash flow queens, and I really get excited about helping people build their wealth engines. Hence, why I started this bold millionaire movement. So the first shift that we can make is a lesson from the Millionaire Next Door. Do the rich have a budget? So the myth is the rich do not have budgets, that they can spend whatever they want. The best-selling book, The Millionaire Next Door, does a study on millionaires. The number one fundamental skill that they have is actually excellent money management. If there's anything you learn from the book, it's about not caring what other people think, not chasing flashy objects, and it's about excellent money management. The Millionaire Next Door also teaches the frugal school of thought, meaning that you save and save, use coupons, and you just save your way to a millionaire. So the frugal school of thought encourages you to sacrifice life experience to live within a budget. The millionaire budget system allows you to enjoy life while building your wealth. So the only thing I don't like about the Millionaire Next Door is because it comes from a place of lack and sacrifice and squeezing. So this frugal school of thought takes a long time to build a retirement fund. And by then you are old age. These are the people who are super frugal, never go out, never really enjoy anything. In fact, I have another coworker who was like that, and they never went out to eat, they never traveled. Him and his wife basically just stay at home, and the reason why is because he wanted to retire a little bit earlier than most people. So, and good for him, he maxed out his 401k. He never went on trips, always brought his own lunch, never went out to eat, and he was able to retire by the age of 54, which is considered pretty young. And at the same time, you could ask him, and he just felt kind of bored because it was just always the same routine. So it was just a little bit more of like he felt like he had to sacrifice a lot just to get to that point, but then he felt that it was necessary. But luckily, I could show you another way. You don't have to sacrifice all the joy, happiness, and being able to enjoy life just to retire 10 years earlier. Money shift number 2. Why mainstream advice gets you chained to a job? Why hard work is only part of the money equation. So if you live below your means, a lot of these mainstream personal finance gurus tell you that someday you will live better and finally take it easy. So what I would ask is, what's the point of being debt-free if you are not financially free? So imagine you paid off your credit cards, you paid off your student loans, you've paid off your house, and you are debt-free. One day, say you get the news, recession is here, and there's no more corporate paycheck. So yes, you could celebrate that you are debt-free, you don't owe anybody any money, but then what happens? There's no more incoming income. How are you going to support your daily expenses of eating, right? So that's the point where you say like, okay, you spend all this time paying off everything. So yes, debt-free, but then you're not financially free. So that's what I would ask. So the idea of this shift is pointing out the reason why mainstream advice gets you chained to a job, because the only way you could continue living while being debt-free is you have to continue working, or else there's no more incoming cash flow. So instead, what I ask is you shift your compass from making piles of cash, meaning that you're just trying to pile in all your cash into your savings class, and then to increasing streams of cash. What does streams of cash mean? So that means rather than focusing on squeezing your lifestyle to save your way to riches, you want to increase your financial acumen and learn how to make money work for you and increase your money income streams. This was a huge mind shift to me because I always thought that the corporate income was going to be my sole income. And the only way I could get a raise in a corporate income is to keep getting promoted or to keep applying, to other jobs if I didn't get promoted soon enough. So it seemed like it was just that sole one corporate job. But once I made the shift that it's about me making streams of income, that meant that all I had to do was to find more passive income streams. So I could have my active income and passive income. So working hard is only part of the wealth building equation. And so many people don't realize that wealth building doesn't have to be a long, hard, tiring process. They think it's supposed to be that way. To get rich, you have to sacrifice all these joyful experiences, but it's only part of the wealth equation. Money shift number 3. Wealth building equation is so simple, but because of that, a lot of people don't believe it. So money shift number 3 is the story of the blind man and the elephant. So if you haven't heard the story of the blind man and the elephant, let me see if I can find a story version. Man and elephant. All right, Siri. All right, so the blind man and the elephant story talks about how it was an ancient, let me see, blind man and the elephant. It's a story of a group of blind men who have never come across an elephant before. Who have never come across an elephant before and who learn and conceptualize what the elephant is like by touching it. Each blind man feels a different part of the elephant's body, but only one part, such as a side or tusk. They then describe the elephant based on their limited experience, and their descriptions of the elephant are different from each other. In some versions, they come to suspect that the other person is dishonest, and they come to blows. The moral of the story is that humans have a tendency to claim absolute truth based on limited subjective experience as they ignore others' experience. So, how does the blind man and the elephant story relate to finances? Well, it relates to building wealth in a similar fashion because it's what different people see of building wealth. Because you see, we see wealth from different angles as well. Think about what our parents or grandparents tell us about building wealth. Most likely they say that you save your money and don't spend. Just save your money, don't spend. Save your money, don't spend. So they see one angle of it. So the lesson from the 6 blind men and the elephant apply to building wealth. To understand and see the whole picture, you have to integrate all parts. You see, the equation to building wealth is make more money, and spend less than you earn, and invest wisely. So the part our parents and grandparents keep teaching us is spending less than you earn. Making more money is something that we try to do when we graduate college and all that. But the invest wisely is the part that we don't quite get taught how to integrate. We have to self-learn it, and we don't know how to really do it. But it's only when all 3 parts of this is working together, then you're really optimizing your wealth building engine. So the simple equation is make more money, spend less than you earn, and invest wisely. A lot of times these mainstream financial gurus, they teach so much about the being frugal. So they're constantly, people are spending less than they earn, living in frugal land and to be debt free, and they spend 10 years doing that, paying off the car, paying off the house and all that, but they forget about investing wisely, meaning that they let go of opportunity for compound interest, they let go of the opportunity cost that they could have invested in something and made more with their money. They were just so focused on just paying off everything. So it's not optimal. It gets people there, but it's not optimal. So making more money, when we make more money, the blind spot is oftentimes after getting a raise, we make more money, is the lifestyle increases as well, right? You get a nicer car, a bigger house. So by making more money, it's easy to also make more, but spend more. The spending less, which is what people call saving, and to the extreme, it can be frugal, is being frugal and sacrificing enjoyable life experience. And then invest wisely is crucial to optimizing wealth. And I think that's the part that rich people do really well. But in the middle class, we don't learn it so early on that it's a part of our daily lives. So we try later in life, and therefore it's harder to catch up. And what's crucial is all of these three parts have to be integrated at the same time. Notice I say integrate at the same time, not a sequence. And I've made this mistake before as well. I would say, like, yes, I'm going to invest one day. One day when I have enough money to invest right now, I'm just going to focus on paying off all my student loans. And then one day I'm going to invest. And honestly, that doesn't always happen, because once you make more money, yes, some of it goes to paying off debt, but then you also increase the lifestyle. So it's difficult to build that fund. And then when you wait to invest, maybe I'm not educated enough and I don't know what to do with it. And then I save it in the bank and all that. So there's a system that we can invest daily and invest, currently. We don't have to wait for $10,000, $100,000 to start investing. It's something that can be very manageable to do already, just to get those habits in place already. The idea is to build those rich money mindset and habits early on. And it doesn't matter how much money you're making, because you already have the habits in place. How much percentage you use for your daily expenses, how much percentage goes towards investing, and then you just feed more money as you make more. But the habits are already there. Because you see, if making more money was the only reason why people were not wealthy, then lottery winners would pretty much all be wealthy. But I'm sure you've heard of the stories of these lottery winners, and they surveyed them, a year later, how they're doing. And a lot of them go broke, even bankrupt, because they don't have good money habits. And most importantly, they don't have the right money mindset. You see, they come from a place of not used to having so much money. So once they do, it's almost like they were just created on a diet. They never really had the opportunity to spend money. So suddenly, when there's so much money, they're just spend. And until they get to that point that they run out again. And they say, well, yeah, because that's how money is. You always run out, because they're used to living that kind of lifestyle of always running out of money. So that's why, even with making more money, it's important to have those habits in place of investing and understanding how to optimize finances, so that at a time that we are given a lot of money, that we still have that same habit discipline and can grow these muscles of investing. Money shift number 4 is to become rich and wealthy requires a new money blueprint. What do I mean by a new money blueprint? Well, because the blueprint that we currently have was something that was passed on to us, right? Our parents and our grandparents passed on to us, and most likely their parents and their grandparents had the same money blueprint. And that's why we follow that same money blueprint again and again. So if we wanted to have a different outcome, it starts with changing what we do, and most importantly, changing our thoughts, right? So our thoughts come from this blueprint that has been ingrained as us. So to become rich and wealthy requires a new money blueprint. First of all, an acronym. What does POOR stand for? P-O-O-R. What does POOR stand for? It means passing on opportunities repeatedly. When I say rich, it means having an abundance mindset, not looking at things that they're limited. Being poor is a mindset, right? It's not really about how much money is in the bank account. It's about the mindset that things will run out, that there's no possibility of investing, everything is a no, being scared of taking a risk, not understanding that, yes, there's a risk in everything. We just have to learn how to manage it. So poor basically shows us how the poor, middle class, and rich view opportunities differently. You see, when we're in the middle, even the middle class, like, for example, I remember reading that we would look at how we spend our time is differently as well, right? Like, say I'm trying to go from Texas to DC. I could fly there, or I could get on a bus there. So if I wanted to be super frugal and save money, I would take the bus there. And it could take me almost 2 days to get there, right? To fly there, yes, it's a lot more money, but it would just take me two hours, max to get there. And so it's about saving time. And that's what rich people value. They value their time, they value their life. And the problem with cutting coupons and saving every dollar is that we're willing to sacrifice time for money. And that's how our values are so different, right? Some other characteristics of the poor is that, when I say poor, I don't really mean like financial poor. It's more of a poor mindset. You see, the rich mindset is about feeling abundant, feeling joy. And honestly, the middle class and the poor mindset is the same, because basically it comes from a place of scarcity, that there's not enough. Because if I don't save for a rainy day, it's not going to be enough and I'm going to be in trouble. So I have to start saving today for an eventual crisis and all that. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have emergency fund. Yes, have emergency fund. But once that's built, to get out of that school of frugality, to start looking into investing, to start building and understanding that there are opportunities, like there is a lot of financial opportunity out there. Like we just need to step out of our comfort zone and educate ourselves to learn more about them rather than doing the same thing again and again, right? So some of the characteristics that I found eye-opening when I was learning about this, and a lot of it came when I was working for these wealthy investors, right? So honestly, these wealthy people, like I would think like, oh, they must be super smart, and yes, they are smart, but they're not the smartest people I've ever met, to be honest. Like they were just very good at knowing where to invest their time. So say I wanted to save money and learn how to save money and learn how to save energy in my house, right? So my way would have been to pick up books, take a class, and learn how to be energy efficient. Their way would be like, well, let me go find an energy efficient expert, have him tell me what to do, and he just gives me all his expertise and knowledge in an hour, and then I'll just implement it, right? So think about how much time I had to spend to learn all of that, right? And I spent 2 weeks figuring all that out versus the person with the abundance mindset. It's like, well, I could just find an expert to tell me, right? Why do I have to learn all of it? An expert will tell me what to do, and I would get the same results. Money shift number 5, rock of fuel that the rich use to build and accelerate their wealth. So first of all, before we get into it, we got to know what kind of income we are working for. So the types of income out there, there's earned income. That's income generated from a job, business type of trading hours for a paycheck. This is the hardest income to build wealth because we have high taxes. You see, corporates make money, businesses, they make a lot of money, but who pays the taxes? It's the employees, right? So it's actually supposed to be the businesses, paying a lot of taxes, but then it's the employees who are paying the more taxes. So what this means is, even though there's a job and then you get a pay raise, your taxes also increase too, right? So that's earned income. Next is portfolio income. So this portfolio income is generated from paper assets. Paper assets are stocks, bonds, mutual funds. It's the most popular form of investment income because they are easier to put their money in. And then lastly, there's passive income. Passive income is from assets, usually real estate or created business assets, royalties, patents, and license agreements. So what do I mean by leveraging people's expertise, invest in mentoring? So what the rich do really well is they know how to leverage other people's time, money, and expertise. By leveraging other people's expertise and effort, it makes the path so much easier, right? Than trying to figure it out and trial and error to figure it out on people's own. It's a plug-and proven system, and mentorship is pretty much, it's a part-time thing to learn how to build wealth. And working full-time on your active income and part-time on your passive income is the ideal way to go, right? Nobody's saying like quit your job, go start a business right away. Like this is something that's very manageable and doable without making such a drastic change. But by spending some time now today to build your passive income, what it means for building wealth is huge leaps, because building wealth is about investing, about compound interest. And the earlier that we start putting time into it, it's like growing a tree. The earlier it grows and the earlier it's going to multiply, and your fruits of labor will really show. So today I promise you the real reason why conventional retirement planning leaves people broken and destitute. Why hard work and determination is only part of the wealth building equation. Crucial lessons from the Millionaire Next Door. And one fundamental habit the rich do well than most of us. Oh, okay. And then the equation to building riches and wealth is so simple, people do not believe it. How the rich think and manage money differently than the middle class, and how to go from money worker bee mode to money boss mode. How to retire comfortably without worrying about becoming broke at old age. How to leverage and rocket fuel your business without taking on another full-time job or losing sleep. So what do you need to do to win? Number one, millionaires are excellent money managers and become strong in money management. Number two, why mainstream advice gets you chained to a job. In other words, stop trying to build that piles of cash and look for ways to build streams of income. Number three, the secret equation to building wealth is make more money, spend less than you earn, and then invest wisely. It's that simple. Number four, how to become rich and wealthy requires a new money blueprint. We have to reprogram our mindset, because that's where our actions come from, where our habits come from. It all starts with changing our mind, our thoughts. Number five, rocket fuel the rich use to build and accelerate wealth. All right. So let's take a minute break here. Gather your notes. Okay, so now you have a choice. You can join the Cashflow Queen program, which will give you the ultimate formula from going from financial chaos to cashflow rockstar. I will teach you a simple money management system that does not stress you out, meaning that you make money, you spend less than you earn, and you invest simultaneously. You will also learn the 3 essential elements of creating wealth. You will become the CEO of your wealth and gain money confidence. And lastly, you will invest like a boss, meaning you will gain the money confidence and the investing confidence that you know what to do with your money. So say goodbye to relying on other people to tell you what to do with your money. Like, why would you do that? You worked so hard for your money. You've worked while you were not feeling good. You were, feeling sick and you still worked. You were feeling tired and you finished your work. Like all those sacrifices that we make just to make that paycheck, why would you just trust somebody else with managing your hard-earned money? Now, with the Cashflow Queen program, we can build that money confidence and investing confidence as well to manage our own money. So schedule your strategy call by going to boldmillionaire.com/call, or you can email me at caroline@boldmillionaire.com. I wish you all well. Thank you for your time. So schedule your call and become a Cashflow Queen and build your first million. So what are you waiting for? It's pretty much a no-brainer. Just take action today and schedule your free strategy call at boldmillionaire.com/call. Thank you all.